And we're rolling! Hey, what's up, y'all? This is FD, Rollin with FD. Before we even get into this episode, I gotta give a shout out to my man Drew. He sent me this softball shirt. It's his daughter's team. I want to say thank you. Drew and I grew up together, and I had to bring it out in this episode. If you've been watching recent episodes, you know that we've been building strategy, going to shows, finding out what are people buying, what are they paying for the cars that they're buying, asking a lot of questions, talking about the market. And I was trying to do some buying. And I know some of you out there was in the comments saying,
FD, you're not buying anything.
Please feel free to send some buy-in, support, subsidy into Rollin with FD. That's a joke. Today we're going to expand my PC because you all know that's what I buy for. We're going to put some fire in it, people. And I want to see in the comments, what do you think of these cars? Do you understand the strategy? Do you know what's happening here? What is FD thinking? I want to see what you think. Get in them comments, hit them keys. I know some of you like to do that. Get on them keys, people.
FD.
Let me know what the deal is. But without further delay, G, Junior, FD, we're coming with straight fire with my man Levi. Check this out, people. Woo! Who's rolling with FD? Who's rolling with FD?
I'm rolling with FD.
What? Who's rolling with FD?
I'm rolling with FD.
Talk to him. We're standing by this 2020 Lakers championship ring. But I want to tell you about the 5,000 subscriber contest. Subscribe and leave a comment telling us about your favorite player or players. Do this and you'll be permanently entered into the contest. First prize receives cards up to $1,000 of your favorite athlete. Second prize receives cards up to $250. 5 additional winners will receive Rollin with FD merch. You don't want to miss this merch. Thank you so much for your support. We can't wait to get to 5,000. What's going on, bro?
Brother,
How you doing, bro?
great, how are you?
Good. What's the background story on these cards before we show the
Alright, so some of these cards we got off a local dealer, as I told you about, or a guy who collects, and other ones we got off people out of town, out of state, but I got it in like a dual deal. For example, one of them that we're going to show you, because I personally myself think that Justin Herbert's going to have a great season, so I bought myself a nice Herbert card.
I think Herbert's going to have a spectacular season. You know, last year we talked about who's going to be MVP of the NBA.
Yeah.
And I talked about Shea.
SGA, right.
I think Harbaugh has taken a guy who has never been used right and clearing everything else around him out and rebuilding. I think
right.
Herbert's
And you know what I love most about Herbert is his card prices are
low.
bottom. So the card I got
Low,
now was only $1,500 or something. And you look back 2 years and it's 8,000 to 8,500 because
Is it numbered? What is it?
it's the Panini One RPA, the PSA 10 Panini One. It's so low right now.
It's very
like,
low. Most of the stuff is very
It's
low.
crazy. It's like the perfect buy time. And I'm looking at like Burrow too because I'm like, well, maybe Burrow's a good investment as well.
I think
But his stuff is pretty expensive,
Yeah.
surprisingly. Like it's a little bit more than it was a few months ago.
It is.
It looks like it's up actually a little bit. I was pretty surprised by that. I gotta ask you a question though.
What you got?
How do you feel about Justin Fields?
You know how I felt about Fields.
Yeah, I know how you felt about Fields last year.
Well, the Bears organization is terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
It's horrible.
I agree.
So I'm happy that, and I even said this in a post yesterday on Instagram, I'm happy that he is with Tomlin now
Right.
and in a system that will allow him to develop for a year. Now we'll really get a chance to see who is he,
Right.
because before we
You
never
know,
did.
I think we would have saw a very, very crazy Justin Fields if they would have let him stay. And you see those weapons that they have. You see Keenan Allen. You see DJ Moore. You see all these new players that they got as well. And you see what Justin Fields could finally do with the normal offense, with like a talented offense. And I think they would
But
have
see, I
been
don't
great.
think this had anything to do with football. I think we think as fans that all these moves have something to do with football. When Justin Fields got up and started saying stuff in the media about the organization,
Yeah.
I thought he's gone.
Right. I mean, he is, but it's sad because you want to see what he really could do with real weapons. In my opinion, I would have just drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. and kept Fields, and if he does bad again, traded him and picked a quarterback next year. But I get the fact that Caleb Williams is a very hot star and everyone wants to
What do you
get
think of Caleb?
I think he's gonna be a bust. I
Yeah, so do I. I don't think
he's gonna be a Kenny Pickett type of player.
I think he knows that.
Yeah.
He's not really working
And
out.
that's why
he doesn't want to give his medical information.
All he wants to do is just say, if I'm not drafted by who I want to be drafted, I'm not going to play. That's what he says, and that's very hypocritical. You know, it's basically saying, I want to be first, I want to be paid.
It's like Eli Manning 2.0.
He just wants the money. You can tell he doesn't really care about playing for the team. He said, if I'm not drafted, but I want to be drafted, I don't want to go to your team.
Well, if you're logical though, okay, most quarterbacks are going to not be what they're not going to play well. So get paid.
If you think about it though, the NFL is kind of a different animal than college. So even though he did so good in college, we really have to look at the NFL because it can change a college player like a lot. And we've seen that with players before. Like we have some that pan out, like Mark Chase, but then there's people who don't pan out because it's just a different animal.
It's a totally different sport.
Yeah, it is. It's a different animal. So on the topic of basketball, your man SGA, that was a great pick in the beginning of the season.
He's a player, man.
He is. And
I still think he's going to be MVP.
You know what I noticed though about the MVP? You look back 5 years, 10 years, the last decade, it kind of shifted. Like it went from being small forward, power forward, point guard, shooting guard.
Yeah.
Like you have Steph Curry, LeBron James, KD, Westbrook, Harden, and then you go and you see it's just going to big man. Now, I feel like it shifted back towards the big man area where it's like, oh wow, there's a big man who can shoot threes. There's a big man who can pass the ball. Give him MVP. Like I just feel like it shifted back towards that, and we kind of needed a player like SGA to bring it back to where it should be, where it could be any player, where it could be a point guard and it could be a shooting guard, and it doesn't have to be a center because it can shoot threes and pass the ball.
It doesn't have to be a big man.
It doesn't exactly.
Not
Shot.
Chef Curry did. Do you think the Joker has he locked up the MVP this year?
No,
I don't think
no
so.
way. It's up for grabs right now between SGA and Jokic. But you know what I do want to tell you though? I saw this highlight of your guy James Wiseman dunking on someone. I saw a poster that was crazy. I saw him. I'm finally seeing like he's a really good player.
He has talent, bro.
Detroit.
He has
And
talent.
what I see in him is he could kind of be like a Shaq type of player if they develop.
Yeah.
If he gets developed, because he has a big body, he's able to dunk the ball. He can maneuver. He's hard to stop if you think.
And he has
about
the outside jump shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He can shoot the three too, so he's a threat. You can't just leave him open. And I feel like if you have like a big body like Wiseman, you can get yourself even bigger.
Yeah.
You know how Giannis was tiny and then he got big. So when Wiseman's already big and you can get bigger, I feel like you can have like a Shaq mentality where it's very hard to stop a player like that. It's just he has to have the mindset where it's like, I got to step it up. It's NBA time. It's time for me to shine. It's
Be
time
aggressive.
to work out.
Call for the ball.
Have the mind that you're ready to do it. You need to put in the effort, the work, the ethic, everything. You need to like be there to get a.
So that's the golden question about him. He has all the talent.
He's probably the biggest can he do it situation right now. It's
And-
a can he do
But
it?
if he turns that corner, it's
Yeah.
no turning.
And
back.
he showed
Showing some stuff.
Should we get to some of the cards we got?
Get to the cards.
Let's get to some of the
I'm
cards.
blown away.
Cards.
All right, so we got Steph Curry 2019-20 Absolute Glass card.
What do you think about the glass cards?
I like them.
I have mixed opinions about them. I think they're very cool. The only thing is I feel like they're kind of hard to see. You know what I mean? Like,
They are. Well, a lot of people don't like them because they said they're easier to grade.
They are. That's a good thing. Why wouldn't you want a nice grade on a glass card? You know, glass is the other way is glass is very nice. So glass card is very cool. You know, you're making a piece of glass card. It's very cool.
You said the next one.
So this is a 2020 Panini Prism James Wiseman Gold.
How many of these do you have?
PSA 8.
How many of these do you
I
have?
have one before, and this will make 3.
Wow, that's amazing. What's the one that you had?
It was
You show the numbering.
a PSA 9.
Wow, look at
No,
that.
this,
7.
no, this one is a 9. This one is an 8.
Yeah,
You
but
gotta
he's
show
talking about the number on
Show the
back.
number. Which number out of 10 it is? 7, right?
My man.
7.
So,
All right, what's the other one? I didn't even check the numbers. I should have checked them.
do that one.
Check with that one.
This is what these 6 out of 10.
Wow, you got the back to back.
Interesting.
Very cool.
6 out of 10.
You got the 6 and the 7.
And they gave it a PSA 9.
Yes, they did. You know what's
At
very
least-
interesting?
At
You
least
saw the
they didn't
PSA
give
scans.
it a PSA 8.
The PSA scans were a little bit different on them, which is very cool. Like you have the
At
nice.
least they
You had one that
did
looked
not
like a
give it a
piece of gold.
PSA.
You had one that looked like a shiny, like
Yeah.
yellow piece of gold kind of. It was very cool.
But these are the same cards. How does one get a PSA 9 and one get a PSA 8?
Sometimes it's like the grade, the card, the centering. You know, sometimes it.
It could
just
be
has to
cut
do
from a
with
different
centering.
sheet.
Let's give a little bit of backstory here.
All right, what's the backstory?
I think this card right here could be a massive card down the line. I'll
So
tell you
do
why.
I.
Because you're looking at what's like the main thing to think about when you think about NT like gold out of 10. You're like, when you think about NT, like you want the main RPA, the number to 99. You look at the Shigeru, the number 99 NT RPA. The NT RPA is always like the popular thing to go to. Even though Flawless, I feel like it's a better brand because you have the game worn.
That's right.
But to get an NT RPA is very popular with people, and to get a gold NT RPA is even more popular because there's only 10 of them. And to get a PSA 1010.
Very rare.
Very, very, very rare, which is what's crazy about this card. Let's show it to the camera. Show
Look at
what we got.
9 out of 10.
So crazy.
Auto.
Because the card is
Auto
thicker
10.
too.
Yeah.
The
They
card is thick. You
graded
have
it.
that nasty Warriors patch.
They
And you see,
graded
sometimes
it auto
even if it's not game worn, it's so nice to see like
Yeah.
you have a nice patch on a
Yeah.
card, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We got some crazy cards here.
Some
You know,
heat
this
man.
is probably the biggest meetup we've ever done.
Yeah.
Auto.
These type of cards are insane. Like the future in these next two cards, we're talking about big cards. These could be massive cards down the line.
Totally agree.
So
This next one is crazy.
the MVP candidate.
Yeah, the 2018-19 Panini Noir rookie patch
With a
autograph.
Nike patch.
Yes, with a Nike patch.
So
1 out of
nasty.
5.
It's so
Auto
nasty.
on card.
SGA. You saw, I showed you the number to 99, nasty in a great way. You saw the number to 99 raw. They were doing like $1,000 and I was shocked. I'm like, wow, this is a special
Yeah.
card. Like you don't see this card every
No.
day. You never see this type
No,
of
I
card.
was even looking at it on eBay the other day.
Because they have like the gray one, but I don't like the gray one. I feel like the gray one is ugly.
I agree.
Because it doesn't show the color. You want to see color. So the gray one does a little bit cheaper, but it's ugly.
151.
To see a card like this, it's so beautiful in my opinion. And there were a lot of people who loved it. Everyone was messaging me about it.
What
Wow,
else?
it's
That's why I tried to hit you early.
You're right, and that's why I sent it to you first. You know, I messaged you first about it. I'm like, wow, look at
It's
this
a
card
1
we
out
found
of 5 signed.
It
1
is.
out of 5 signed.
with the Nike logo as
Say
well.
Gillett.
It's the first one to print.
Alexander.
It's the first one they made. 1 out of 5. Isn't that special? With the 10 autograph right there. How cool is that?
This is no joke.
No joke, right? That is a very sick card.
This is no joke.
Very sick. And Noir doesn't grid well at all. Like that
No.
stuff is all
Very
in the
hard.
corners. So at 8.5, I think that's a very solid grade.
I agree.
I would rather an 8.5 than a raw grade or an 8. I like that 8.5.
And we got a game worn Nike.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it should.
All right, now what do we got here? We got probably,
Something
if
like
not the biggest,
I would have shown it the last
one
but
of
not
the
least.
biggest James Wiseman cards in the world.
Yeah.
In
But
the world.
last-
We're talking
It's
about
special.
in the world. Like when you see a player that you really like and you want to invest in their biggest card, what do you think about? What's the card you want? What's the sale you want to see? Like what's that one card that's just iconic in the new generation? It's Prism. And what's the best Prism card?
But
The black.
And last but not least.
why don't you name that one off?
How crazy is this? The
You show the
only one
people
in the
that.
world.
1 of 1.
But read it off.
2020 Panini Prism. James Wiseman. Black Prism. 1 out of 1.
Did you ever think you're gonna
Number
see this card?
260.
Come on, this is crazy, right?
This is a PSA 9.
Yes.
You got to show the
I
people
wish
the
it would have
card.
been. Maybe we could get a bump to a BGS 10 like the Otani. How crazy would that be? You
10.
gotta talk to the slab doctor about that one.
Everybody that's watching this, if you vote that this should get a BGS 10, raise your hand right now.
We could change the grade on it.
The
We
people.
can change this grade.
Yes, we can.
Let me see.
But how crazy is that card? Like my description of this card, I would like to name it as the James Wiseman Mona Lisa. It's just so beautiful.
It really is.
To see the black
That's the
prism,
base.
because you see the base prism, you see the gold prism, you see the orange prism. It's crazy. You seeing the black prism 1 of 1 in person.
This is wild.
I think that card is just so special because it's like the only one in the world. No one else is gonna ever own that card. It's amazing.
We're never gonna sell that
Best
card.
feeling.
Never.
I
ever,
don't
ever.
blame you. We should.
We're not gonna sell it to any of you.
You should
This,
definitely.
This is special. We're gonna keep this for a very
Definitely
long
should.
time.
And when James
For
Wiseman
years.
comes in next Shaq, that's gonna be a very special card.
It's a wild card.
It's that chance. It is insane.
I'm humbled to hold.
It's so amazing. It's so amazing. I would say probably the only possible thing that could compete with this card would be the Logo Man. I haven't seen the Logo Man yet.
I haven't seen the logo.
I don't think it's been pulled,
No.
but I feel like it's kind of in the same. I feel like it's kind of even between the
agree.
Logo Man right now because I have the Black Prism. It's just iconic. You look at like some other similar players with the Black Prism, and they do high sales because
Yeah.
it's the best card you can get to the player. There's nothing like that. The gold is super sick, but there's 10 of them. You want the only one.
I'm
This
speechless,
is
man.
the one of
Yes,
one.
it's amazing. You know, when I saw this card, I noticed like it does look really good. I mean, if you do want to try to crack it with the Slab Doctor,
I was looking at the center.
The centering looks pretty good.
Centering looks good.
It looks pretty decent, in my opinion. I think it because PSA qualifies at 60/40. So I would look if you could ask them to look at it like a microscope or something to see if there's like any surface issues or a corner issue or anything like that. If not, I would definitely try to flip it. You know, even a BGS 9.5 would be an upgrade. But it's still special. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it's like the card. It's not the grade.
That's right.
You know, you don't really care about the grade. You care about owning that one card. Like you saw the triple logo man, right? The LeBron triple logo man. And everyone was saying it's going to be a $3 million card before it got PSA 10. And it still was like a $3 million card wherever it sold. I feel like the PSA 10 grade, when it comes to a big card like that, it doesn't really bump it. You look at a normal card, PSA 10, yeah, it's going to react. But when it comes to the biggest card of a player like that, I don't really feel like the grade
totally agree.
as much. But this is probably the biggest meetup deal in person James Wiseman collection with the Shea.
What's some Shea sprinkled in? What you got?
Special.
We passed on for generations.
Oh, really? Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Crazy.
Game changer.
Hey, wait, how many subscribers do we got to get to 5K?
Hold on, we got to take some pictures with
Are we 1K away from 5K?
Yeah,
1K away from 5K.
Wow.
Isn't
that crazy?
4K.
Don't we got to get FG to 5K?
Yes.
We got to get you to 5K.
We need. Yeah, last time we
You
put
hold
half.
on, too.
All right, I got
I'm
the
gonna hold
big.
this.
I got
Last time we got 1K. We put half a side.
I got the big Wiseman's right
Over
here.
here. Hey, what's up, everybody? We just picked up some big cards from Levi.
Like this. The only Black Prism Wiseman card.
That's a huge card.
Whole world.
I'm hyped right now because we're trying to take our entire collection. People out there know that watch the show that I collect for my PC, and we're taking that thing to a whole nother level with these 6 cards added to it.
Like this.
We got the black gold. We got a gold
The
prism.
black. Yeah, the Black Prism.
We got a gold prism. The Steph Curry glass.
Which is nice.
Another gold. The No Air SGA. And the Wiseman Gold 10 National Treasure.
Which?
A 1010. Everybody out there, keep watching. We're going to bring you more. Get hyped. Tell people. We need you to tell people about Rollin with FD to continue to grow the channel. We just hit 4,000 subscribers. Appreciate you all a lot.
We need to hit 5K.
We're trying to get to 5K, people. Help us get there.